Hi, everyone. Thank you all for tuning back in to another episode of Bubbly Banter podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Mendoza, and today I am joined with a very special guest.
My name's Trevor. How is everyone? She keeps forgetting to introduce me.
No,
This is the
I
fifth
look.
time.
I'm giving him the look that I'm like, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, well,
Who
this
am
is
I,
my
love?
this is my boyfriend, Trevor. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of regretting my decision now. I'm just kidding. Anyways.
I forced myself on her podcast and she gets to use my office.
Well, no, not really. So I actually asked people on Instagram if they wanted the next episode to be pertaining to relationship questions and advice. And so I asked Trevor to join me today so we can have a male and a female perspective on everything. And before we jump into that episode, today we are having boba to start off because more people have voted that they do want more boba themed episodes, which is awesome. So thank y'all for voting. I couldn't find one that was pertaining to love unless I got a smoothie at my boba shop, and it was called Mango Passion Lover. So instead, I got a guava passion fruit green tea with mango boba. What did you get, love?
I got lychee green tea. Guys, I don't drink tons of boba, but Sierra here loves it, so she got me on one right now.
I did, yeah, and that's actually my favorite flavor, and I had that for the last episode of Green Eggs and Ham Hair, and he was like, you know what, send it. Let me just have the same thing you got last time, and yeah, he's like almost done with that tea. But anyways, you guys, we have had to try and record this episode a few times now just because we can't seem to get it right, and we're not gonna stop and start over again. So this is full send. We just flew back in from Colorado today from visiting Trevor's family, so that was always fun, but we are exhausted. So even though we sound cheerful right now, we are looking at each other like we are dead on the inside.
I look great right now. I don't know what she's talking about.
Thanks, love. All right. So, anyways, Trevor wanted to go ahead and share some advice when it comes to relationships, something that him and his grandfather had a conversation on not too long ago. So, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to him.
Put me in the spotlight. So Sierra and I, we've been dating for about almost 2 years. 2 years in July. We've known each other for 2 years now. But we're starting to get to that point where the big question might be asked soon. And I was talking to my grandpa about it, and he was like, "You should sit down and with whoever, and everyone should do this, and have intimate conversations. So whether that's if you guys are planning on getting married, do you want kids? How many kids? How are you going to discipline them? Do you both agree on what religion you believe in?" So for Sierra and I, that's Christianity. Do you believe in God?
Yeah, Christianity. Yeah, we both had to make sure we were on the same page of that. And actually, you guys, like, I was very close to the beginning of our relationship. I was very close to friend zoning Trevor, and he's well aware of this. This isn't something that he's just learning about on the podcast. But I told him towards like the middle of our relationship that I really prayed for a godly man ever since I was a kid. And so I would invite him to church. It wasn't really his thing at the time. We finally got him to go one day on Easter.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 2022? Easter of 2022?
Yeah, Easter of 2022. Because I just bought a Lexus for my birthday.
Yeah, so he had just gotten a brand new car for his birthday, and then it was kind of like pulling teeth to get him there because I just know he didn't want it. That just wasn't his thing at the time, which is fine. But once I got him there, we had a good time, and then we come back to the car, and there was like a scratch mark on it because someone dinged his car in the parking lot.
No, we didn't get back. We pulled up, and a family pulled up right besides us. Yeah, and their like 15-year-old kid just slammed his door open and nailed my brand new car, and okay. I was not having it.
Yeah, so then I thought in my mind, I was like, yeah, he's never going to come back with me to church again. And yeah, sure enough, it took like, I want to say,
did it for a while.
Yeah, it took us a long time to get back in. And I was really ready to just kind of call it quits on the relationship because I was like, you know, this isn't what I've been praying for as a kid, and I wouldn't be honoring my standards and my, you know, not perspectives, my morals. Yeah, I wasn't honoring myself to give me that relationship that I had been praying for so long. So I was about to call it quits, and then, like, funny enough, God works in mysterious ways. Trevor actually reached out to me and told me that he wanted to, like, get closer to God and follow his own path with him again. And this was, like, prior to me even bringing up anything about separating and just staying friends, because I thought we were more than capable of also maintaining that friendship. But it was pretty cool. So I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, we're on the same page. We've been keeping up with it ever since. We do Bible study times. We sit down and pray together. We read the Bible. We go to church any chance that we can, especially like when we are in town. So we didn't get the chance to this last weekend, but we're looking forward to it. I don't even know if we're going to be going next weekend, right? Because my birthday?
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Trevor has something planned for my birthday. So by the time y'all are hearing this, I mean, when is this episode coming out?
Saturday
night. I'm guessing that's when things will be taking place. So I'll have to update y'all next episode on what's going on for my birthday. So that's fun. But okay, love, I'll let you continue.
But yeah, so we started getting on the same page about religion. And speaking of same page, that's another thing that my grandpa said. He was like, you guys need to be on the same page on everything. Especially like life-changing things like religion, money, children, health. Like, are you guys going to be working out?
That's a big one, which is hard for me to say. Trevor is like the little workout machine. I mean, he will just grind all day. And I get home from work whenever I come over to visit, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to fall asleep on the couch right now. But he keeps me.
She'll come over and she's just like, I just want to relax. I don't want to do anything.
He holds me accountable, so
yeah. But you just. He was like, ultimatums, you just got to be on the same page about every little thing.
And then also make sure, like he's mentioned, the finances. Whenever, obviously, if you're not planning on getting married, this doesn't really pertain to you. But if you're not dating to get married, then what are you really doing? You're kind of dating to waste your time and the person that you're seeing's time. So be mindful of that person and keep their feelings in it as well. That don't waste their time just because you're looking to have a fun time. Make sure y'all are on the same page when it comes to what y'all are both gaining out of whatever it is that y'all are doing at that moment. But let's go back to the finances. What do you want to mention to them about finances, like, once you're actually married? Because, little tip, do not do anything financial for anyone if you are not already married. I had to learn that the hard way. I'm not going to get into it, but I will let Trevor go ahead and take this one.
This one's not really for my grandpa, even though I know he would agree. But just from a financial standpoint, you guys should combine your finances as soon as you're married.
And that was also something that was hard for me, ladies and or gents, whoever is listening. That was really hard for me to get on board with because of past trauma that I've had financially tied myself to. And so whenever he first mentioned tying finances together, I was like not on board at all on that. I was like, no, like there's no need for us to tie a bank account together. But like we learned, the more that we're growing in our relationship with God, the more that we're learning that once you get married, you are one. And so your finances become one, your bills become one, your income is one. And so
now you want to keep your spice in your relationship alive, and you want to be able to surprise your partner and those kind of things. So you gotta, if you want two separate accounts, that's fine, but the majority of your money should be going into the same checking and the same saving and the same bill account. So like how Sierra and I are setting it up is we're gonna have a joint checking account for fun, all that great stuff, going out, dates, that kind of thing. A savings account for a rainy day, or if we want to go on trips down the road, wedding down the road, whatever it might be, and then a bill account.
Yeah, and then just keep in mind too that like if you are joining accounts, that doesn't mean that you can't have fun with the money in there either. Y'all just have to be on the same page about prioritizing where that money goes first before taking action in other activities like date nights or just, buying yourself something or buying your significant other something. But sorry, I didn't know if you needed to say something else.
No, and then you guys, like, what we're doing is we're both going to have our own private checking account.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to surprise her, or if I want to go buy a new gaming PC or new gun or gold and silver or crypto, I don't need to ask her permission. That's in my own account.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I want to buy her a necklace and not her know about it, that's what that's for. If she wants to go buy furniture without me knowing about it, then that's
or shop on Shein or Temu
exactly.
or buy little fun knickknacks around the house.
Um,
or a gift for him too, ladies. I'm not all about just take.
But also have the conversation about your guys' credit and financial history. Because you guys need to be on the same page. Who has better credit? Why? Who has more debt? Why? What's the goal to pay off that debt? Like our goal is to have all of our debt paid off within the next 5 years, and then our mortgage, or my mortgage, but it will be our mortgage once we're married, in the next like 10 to 13 years. So you guys just need to set up a plan, because if you guys do all this before you're married, then you're setting up yourself for success. It's not going to be, as all my grandparents and parents have said, it's not going to be perfect no matter what, no matter how much you prepare for marriage. But it would be better that, like, I'm glad Sierra and I are having these conversations.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
We're not going to be caught off guard.
Yeah, and we're actually still learning more about each other as we have these conversations, because a lot of times people don't think to sit down and have these deep conversations. They just kind of go with the flow of everything, and they get so fixated on, oh, I just never want this honeymoon phase to end. And like once it's done, a lot of people lose interest in relationships and they're like, okay, I'm on to the next. And that's another thing that's kind of like, it's kind of sad to see in the world, is that it's very rare to hear marriages have a long-term success rate. And it's more like you ask somebody, oh yeah, like, okay, so y'all are married, how long have I been married for?
Do you want to know an interesting fact about that, love?
Okay, yeah, sure.
About divorce rates in America?
Yeah,
so everyone knows,
educate us all.
Everyone knows the famous divorce rate. 50% marriages end in what?
Divorce.
Yeah. But when you're on the same page about money, finances, and children, those are the big three. You guys, that gets cut down to like, I think it's the latest number was like, your divorce, the likelihood of you getting a divorce is like 25%. Like it gets cut in half when you guys do it that way.
Yeah, that's insane.
So that's why same page is just such a big thing.
It really is.
Because on the finances side, or even the God side, like if we kept dating and I never came back to Christ, like she would end up not being happy and I'd probably end up not treating her well. Or on the finance side, if she didn't tell me about her financial situation before we got married, I would be like, and we got married and we pulled our credit together, I'd be like, wait, what's this, and this? Because she went to school and I didn't. I would be super confused. But we're having these conversations beforehand, so we aren't shocked about anything. Like how we're punishing kids, that was a big one.
Yeah, we actually had to have a conversation about that, because like there's times where we butted heads, where we couldn't agree on how we wanted to like raise our kids, or like how we want to go about discipline. And so that conversation, actually, I think that ended up taking like 3 hours alone. Wasn't it?
Not that long. Like an hour and a half. Because it was an hour and a half drive.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, never mind. So yeah, then it was like an hour and a half drive, but that conversation was just something serious to have, because you're thinking like, okay, so if this is like a long-term goal, I mean, of course you're going to have kids involved if that's something y'all both want down the road. And so that's something you also have to be on the same page of. Like, do you want children? And if the one person does and the other person doesn't, I mean, sure, to each their own when it comes to like sticking around in that relationship a little bit longer to see if the other person changes their mind. But I want to say like 5 times out of 10, like 50-50, it could possibly stay the same. Like you may not persuade that person to change their mind and get on board. So it's just really important to have these conversations when you know that the relationship's getting pretty serious. And another important conversation to have is like, what is your love language? How do you want your significant other to reciprocate your love? Or how like, just what is your love language? How do you handle it whenever your partner isn't necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for, having the same love language? How do you respond in that sense? Like, say my love language is gift giving and quality time. If Trevor's isn't, am I going to look at him and be like, oh my gosh, he doesn't love me because he's not doing these things for me? You just have to understand that each other's love languages are very different. And if you really love that person, you're not going to like get upset with them because they're not doing the same things you're doing. Like, I really love making fun little baskets for Trevor throughout like the holidays, birthdays, everything like that. And I think it's actually pretty funny. Last Valentine's Day, I made him like a cute little like DIY Star Wars baby Yoda
from the
Mandalorian. I made him a cute little like basket, and he gave me poop ring pops.
No, so I acted like I was gonna get down on one knee, so I made her close her eyes because she came over to my apartment and at the time, and I got down on one knee and put a ring on her finger, and she got excited for a second until she opened it, and it was the poop emoji on a ring pop.
And then that in that moment I was like, our love languages are not the same, and that's okay. And that's okay. So I mean, his is more quality time, and I mean, yours is gift giving too, but in just different ways. And so, and that's fine. Like I think my standards were a little too high in the sense that I made him a basket, and I was expecting like a basket in return, and I got a box of chocolates and some poop rings and a little teddy bear, and I was just like, okay, I think that's what you got me.
I don't remember what I got you, but
you got me chocolates for sure. But anyways, so you just kind of have to be on the same page about what your love language is, and just make sure that you're really on the same page overall with where y'all see this going, because in the end, you don't want to waste each other's time.
I got the James Avery necklace.
You got me James? No, the Kendra Scott. You got me this necklace that I'm wearing right now. Okay, I remember. That was for my birthday. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway.
I can't say what I got you.
I don't remember it. I have really bad Dory memory.
Feelings.
I have really bad Dory memory, you guys, and y'all are probably going to learn that throughout this podcast a little bit more. But is there anything else that you really want to cover? Or I mean, because we're only 17 minutes in.
No. Another one my grandpa said. In our instance, both of our parents are divorced. He said, you guys need to have a conversation on two things. How did your parents treat their previous partner, so your mom and dad, and how do they treat their current partner, and why do you react the way you do in fights? So like Sierra gets super defensive at first, and she tries to pop off, and then she gets all
that's
like.
Not just from me seeing like my parents. That's also from like past trauma, and I'm just like I had narcissistic
like a bad relationships.
Yeah.
I love Sierra's parents. I'm not coming at them, but that's just how she reacts and fights. And then I'm very. If it's something that I think is small, I brush it off and I don't care, which Sierra doesn't like.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, this doesn't matter. Why are we going to bring it up?
Yeah.
But if it's big, I'm like, we're figuring this out right now.
And that's actually so good, you guys. No, like seriously, I will give him so much credit for this because I was the worst at communicating. And like, I made that very clear when I met him. I was like, hey, like whatever this is going to be, I just want you to know I don't do communication. Like I will not open up to you. And I made that very clear from day one. And it's so not like me because if you had ever like known previous Sierra, I would put my heart on my sleeve for you. But at this point I had my guard up so high when I met him. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to open up to you. Screw that. But he's actually brought my wall down a lot, and he's gotten me to open up like about my feelings and just communicating, and we will tackle something right then and there. We never go to bed mad at each other, and like we would never go like longer than a day talking. Like I don't even think that we've like fixed it right then and there. You guys, we were
minus the 4-day war.
Oh my god, I don't even remember. We had a 4-day war one day, and it was over something so stupid. I don't even think either one of us could tell you what it was about.
No idea what it was about.
I don't know. We got in a huge fight for like 4 days, and I was just like, all right, this is stupid. I need to fix whatever's going on. And then he was also like,
I finally called her and I was like, hey, lock it in. Or
It was not all on me. Anyway.
No, because I already said my sorries, but she just wanted to keep going.
I did.
I was
I'll
like,
give him that.
all right, I'm done. Either we're good.
Well,
or we're
anyways, even in Colorado this last weekend, there was like, it was just like silly little things. And I think he wanted to hold my hand and give it a kiss. And I was just like, no, refuse. I was like, no, you're not going to kiss my hand. And then he stopped the car in the middle of the street, you guys. Stopped the car until I gave him my hand. I was like, okay, fine. Here's my hand. You can kiss it. Let's drive. But it's cute because it's like, he's like, no, like, we're gonna fix this right now, even if we're in the middle of the road. Well, obviously, guys, be safe about it. There was like not a lot of cars behind us. There was no cars around.
And we weren't actually fighting. It was just like she was just being a smart aleck. And she's like, I don't want you to kiss my hand. And I was like, whatever.
But like, that's also another thing. Okay, we're gonna end all of like the serious notes. We're gonna switch over to like the fun, playful side of relationships. Like, you have to have fun with your partner, you guys. And
Go to the casino at 11 at night for
yeah, do spontaneous things. We like, well, this is gonna be a topic for another day, but we like to do fun, spontaneous moment like things. We'll go to the casino in the middle of the night. We go on random taco dates, and we also like, Trevor's the complete opposite of me. I've actually been told before he is the person that holds the kite. And Amy told me this. Hi, Amy. Huh? Amy told me that you're like the person that holds the kite, and I'm the kite, and like you're like holding me to the ground, like you're.
Sounds terrible.
No, but like you're keeping me, like you're holding on to me, being like I'm like letting my freak flag wave because we're complete opposites.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna text her after this. I think I screwed that up.
I think Amy,
but anyway,
when she's on this podcast, can you explain that?
Okay,
now
she'll have to.
I'm holding your free spirit.
No, okay, guys, he's amazing. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Let me be clear. but no, basically, he's like the black cat, and I'm like the golden retriever in the relationship. Like, we're two polar opposites, but that's how we work. We're like yin and yang.
Yeah,
and we work.
We should have started the yin and yang.
Speaking of yin and yang, you want to watch anime after this? I want to watch Naruto. Okay, anyways, but like we like, you have to find the fun moments, and Trevor will come back on the show, and we'll talk about fun memories that we've had. I mean, like, it's just, we have so many memories we can talk about, and more him than me because my memory's trash. But I mean,
true.
But
Tracks.
No printer.
Yes, you beat me to it.
But really and truly, like, opposites do attract. So I think the one thing we had in common when we first met was purely anime. I think that's really it. It was just anime, right? I don't even think we had anything else in common until we started hanging out more, and then we found out that we just liked each other.
Yeah.
And we just like complimented each other well.
I liked Machine, again, this is before me going back to God, but like, I liked rap, and nothing wrong with rap, but like, more specifically, just the music I was listening to was very just explicit, and again, teach your own, just not what I was trying to do.
And I think I was just
my life. And so like, we had that in common. At the time we were listening to punk rock together, and
would we? Yeah, I didn't like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yes, you did.
I did. See, again, memory trash.
Because why it hurts my feelings. It's literally how
I think I really know. I know,
because
but
I was sending you videos of Emo Girl, and then you were like,
yeah,
"Oh
no.
my gosh, I love that song."
I think it's just I think I just loved that song so much because you kept sending it to me.
No, it was the first Snapchat I sent you, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're listening to Emo Girl?"
Oh yeah, from a TikTok.
Guys,
anyways,
find yourself a girlfriend who doesn't have Dory memory.
No, he loves this. He loves this. Okay, that's another thing. One time we were in the car, and his grandpa. No, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I told my grandpa you're the one. And I was just like bursting out into like musicals and dancing. And I was just like, oh, yeah. Ooh, I did it again. And he just looked over me and he was like, God, like, why did I tell him you were the one? Why? But it's fun because like we can banter with each other like that, you guys. Like that's also a part of being in a relationship, is having bubbly banter. And that's also what makes a relationship. It's like you have to be able to play around with each other, and you can't take it so serious. And I mean, like, he really does bring out my inner child. So I find a lot of peace with Trevor.
Like doing Lego dates.
Oh yeah, we had
Nerf
Lego
battles.
dates, Nerf battles that I can't
Putt-putt.
stand, and but we bring out like each other's inner child, and I think
Arcades. We love arcades.
yeah, we love arcades. There's so many fun things that we just love to do together, and I don't know, I love it. You love it? You better love it. I'm just kidding. Oh, Kathy. Oh, have you seen that movie Hot Rod? Have you seen that movie Hot Rod?
No.
That's what you're reminding me of. Oh, Kathy. Oh.
So I'm gonna go.
Anyway.
Just kidding. I have to give my opinion on the story Miss Sierra chose.
Mm-hmm.
Here in a bit, but no, I enjoy it, and glad we found each other 2 years ago. I'm excited.
Me too.
Excited to keep going.
Are you? You look so dead inside what you say. I'm excited. I'm excited to keep going.
You're just silly.
Alrighty. Well, all right. So then
You just put it all on me. I was like,
you're like, okay.
I was ready for the Reddit story.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was gonna.
Okay. Well, we do have time. We're at 26 minutes. So I am going to go ahead and read the Reddit story, and then we will just kind of jump right in on the advice. So this one says, am I the a-hole for calling a friend out for approaching my fiance with an awful accusation about me, then asking him to keep it secret? So a few weeks ago, my friend and I took a week vacation together, away from our fellas and kids. This past weekend, out of the blue, she reached out to my fiance, whom she's never met, and confided in him about some mystery charge to her credit card from our vacation week, accusing without accusing me of running up her card. Mind you, this was prior to her reaching out to me, and without following up for any itemized statements first either. Then, in the same thread, asked him repeatedly to keep it secret, not mention anything to me. He simply pointed her back to me, told her she really needed to reach out to me directly. He shared the messages with me as they were being sent. About an hour later, she finally messaged me. I advised her to request an itemized statement from the company, then reminded her I had no dealings with her card. It turned out hidden fees from our trip, obviously not related to me whatsoever. I feel betrayed, both for the request for secret keeping, but also that she would put me in a bad light with such an accusation without even bothering to research first, but really expecting my soon-to-be husband and keep secrets from me. Especially about me. Am I the a-hole if I confront her, revealing his honesty/transparency with me? Strongly considering uninviting her from the wedding at this point also. ETA, I confronted her. She said she didn't come to me first since she knew I'd be stressing about finances. She says she went to him figuring he'd know that also. And he and I didn't live together nor share finances, so IDK. She says she didn't mean for it to be divisive? I don't know. Truth is a fragile thing. Even if I believe it wasn't done intentionally, there was a great potential for a huge amount of damage. Backing off, as many suggested. Thank you all for your feedback. So what do you think?
I feel like there's a lot of missing context in this story. But I think her feelings are valid, but I'm like, if the friend was like hiding a like extra hotel room and she was just trying to blame it on her, so her the friend's fiance didn't catch on. But
well, I mean, also, like, I agree.
She's an a-hole.
I don't think she's the a-hole at all.
I think this is all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's
silly.
the a-hole at all. And I mean, especially because, like, she's accusing you of being a theft. But then she's also like, I still... Oh.
Not a theft.
Anyways, she's accusing you. She's accusing you of theft. Anyways, whatever. And you tried to ruin her relationship, but then you also expect her to still, like, she expects you to invite her to the wedding and pay for her to have cake and food.
I think everyone's just being silly goose. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Silly goosey woosies.
And this is another thing about me. Well, I don't read into things all that often.
Agreed. Okay, you guys. Well, I think that's well said also. I don't think anyone in this situation is the a-hole. I mean, well, I don't think she's in the right, but I definitely think there's a lot of context missing from this. Yeah. So sorry for that am I the a-hole segment to not go as planned. But Alrighty, you guys, we are running out of time for today's episode. So if you have not already, make sure you are following along, subscribe, like, comment. I would really love to hear back from everyone. Submit your stories or submit Q&As. I would love to help you out however I can. DM me if you'd like on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find me. I'm at Bubbly Banter Podcast. You can even send in an email to bubblybanterpod@gmail.com. But we love you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And, well, I will see you in the next one. Bye.